Dear students, hope you all very well. Today I am going to explain chapter number 4, Looking Back at Life. Okay. This story is written by Ruskin Bond. In this story, the writer is describing about his house where he lives and the views that he sees from his room in daily life. Clear? Now, I will start to explain the story from first para. In the first para, the writer explained that he lives in Barsati. Students, Barsati means a small rooftop room. There was no other construction on the roof. He always spent his time in that room. Even he saw his family 2 or 3 times a day when went down for his meals. He had only 3 or 4 friends like Somi, Haripal, Krishan and Ranbir. Okay? So the writer described his room, which is known as Barsati, and he mostly spent his time in his room. There were only the women who came to sweep the room and several visitors who were not of humankind. Dear students, in this story, the writer explained that in the beginning there were only the women who came to sweep his room, and several visitors were not of humankind. Here, several visitors means sparrows, crows, and other birds in the morning and evening. The writer said that this was the first time when he really began to observe the views, colors, and smells around him. Means, the writer said that in his room he sees many views like several birds like sparrows, crows and other birds, which were always coming to his room. And the writer described that the path was not very busy. Means, the way which was belonged to his house, the path was not busy, but he could observe many activities on it, like a boxwala with a trunk on his head, the postman on his bicycle, the fruit seller, and schoolgirls with red ribbons. He could also observe the activity of women. The activity was that when it rained, women would rush outside to bring in the washing, and elderly gentlemen would be having difficulty with umbrella. So, in first, second or third para, the writer described his room and what he can see from his room. He explained. He can observe the sparrows and crows and other animals, and also he explained that the path was not very busy, but he could observe many activities. Okay. After that, he told us that he had a window and 2 doors. One door was at the top and the another door opened onto the flat cemented roof of the building. He kept his doors and windows open day and night because he had no fan. Students, in the middle of the story, the writer told us that in his room there was no fan, so he always used to open his windows and doors. Okay? Open doors and windows meant easy call for birds and small creatures. Some birds and creatures like miners, sparrows, cameleon, lizards, etc. always came to his room and paying no attention to him. Means the writer always opened his room's windows and doors, but it meant that the easy call for birds. Okay? The writer described his sweeper woman's thinking. One day she told him that it was lucky for a lizard to fall on some part of his body. She was a good lady. She would have him updated on events in the locality. So we can observe that the writer explained that his sweeper woman's thinking also. And in the last para, the writer mentioned that he would leave the front door open because one night he was woken from sleep by a hideous howling. When he switched on light, he found a jackal. Students, hideous means ugly. So the writer shared his experience at one night. When he was asleep, he heard a hideous and ugly howling. When he switched on light, what he can found? He found a jackal beside him. He gave a shout and it ran away. After that, he kept the front door closed at night. Clear? But during the day, the door was open. One day, a Sikh boy in khaki wearings and chappals looking at him. After some time, he laughed. Then the writer recognized that he was his friend Somi. So, in this story, Ruskin Bond explained his experience in his room. He explained his views that he sees from his room. He explained his room's structure. Okay? Have a nice day.